The Procurement Act has long been criticized for leaving Namibian businesses out at the expense of foreign companies when competing for bidding contracts. This issue was raised at a recent press conference on procurement, where journalists raised concerns on how the criteria that directs public entities to prioritize low-cost bid applicants places locals at a disadvantage. The ministry emphasized that they usually go for the most responsive bidder and that they plan to introduce a new bill that will support local groups.
The code is really an instrument that is expected to be finalized in terms of the law. The law says the ministry should develop codes, which basically just guidelines to guide the procurement from specific interest groups. And what are these specific interest groups? The youth, women, SMEs, and Namibian entities. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think those three. I can't remember the
previously disadvantaged.
Previously disadvantaged. Yeah, I think that's that. That's the other one that I was looking for. So these guidelines are going to guide the public entities when they are procuring, so that they comply with this code. So therefore, if you have a Namibian entity that is competing with a foreign entity, and it's a woman, so that that entity is going to is owned by a woman, that entity is going to get a higher weight, and therefore this will help to empower Namibian entities that are owned by those specific designated groups.
The head of the Procurement Policy Unit at the ministry said that provisions that only allow for certain goods and services to be sourced locally have been in place.
We have issued 2 local sourcing directives in the meantime, where we are stipulating that certain goods, services, works and consultancy services must be procured from Namibian entities or which is manufactured by Namibian entities to some degree. And this local sourcing directive, which was issued in the past, was again revised and issued again, I think, 14 or 19 December last year. Based on that, we've already used that as a exclusive preferential procurement tool for public entities to procure locally. Unfortunately, I think the Act and the regulations currently limit that up to a procurement value of 30 million, according to the regulations annexed to, I think, 5 or 7. And therefore, all procurements up to 30 million for those specific goods, work, services and consultancies as indicated in that directive, we want that to go towards Namibian-owned businesses or manufacturers locally, even from the regions if possible.
Through the Procurement Policy Unit, the ministry regulates all processes relating to procurement by public entities. The unit was established in terms of the Public Procurement Act of 2015, along with the Central Procurement Board of Namibia. The CPBN says on its social media pages that its core mandate is to conduct the bidding process on behalf of public entities for the award of contracts.